The council chamber was silent, but it was not the silence of respect. It was the silence of mockery. Hundreds of alien delegates sat in a massive circular hall, floating in glowing chairs made of crystal light. Their eyes, some large and black, some glowing red, some made of shifting smoke, all turned toward one small platform in the center. On that platform stood a single human woman. Her name was Captain Elena Voss. She wore a plain gray uniform, no medals, no decorations. Around her, the aliens whispered in their strange languages. Some of them laughed, a cold and cruel laughter. Today was the day humanity would join the Galactic Council, but this was not an honor. It was a trap. The council leader, a tall alien named Speaker Threll, stood up. His skin was pale blue, and his voice echoed through hidden speakers. "Humanity," he said. "You have asked to join our great alliance. You have asked to stand among the strongest species in the galaxy." Elena did not move. She kept her eyes forward. "But every new member must prove their worth," Threll continued. "Every species must accept a ship, built by their own hands as a symbol of their place among us." He raised one hand and a hologram appeared in the air. It showed a warship, but this was no ordinary warship. It was old, broken, rusted. Pieces of metal hung loose from its hull. Wires sparked from open panels. Half of the engines looked dead. The other delegates burst into laughter. This ship was garbage. It was already scheduled to be destroyed, melted down into scrap metal. It was, in truth, an insult wrapped as a gift. "This," Threll said, smiling coldly, "is the Ashen Vow. It represents humanity's current place among us. Weak, broken, unproven." Elena's fists tightened at her sides. She could feel her heartbeat rising, but she kept her face calm. An alien from a nearby seat, a Cressian warlord with silver scales, leaned toward his companion. "They will refuse," he whispered, loud enough for others to hear. "No species accepts a scrap ship. They will run home, ashamed." But Elena did not run. She stepped forward and looked directly into the glowing eyes of Speaker Threll. "Humanity accepts," she said. The chamber fell silent again. This time it was not mockery. It was shock. Threll blinked, unsure if he had heard correctly. "You accept?" "We accept," Elena repeated, louder this time. "Give us the ship." Whispers spread through the chamber like wildfire. Some aliens looked amused, thinking humans were foolish. Others looked curious, wondering what humanity was planning. Threll recovered his composure and forced a smile. "Very well. The Ashen Vow is yours. May it serve as a lesson in humility." Hours later, Elena stood on Earth's orbital dock, staring at the ship with her own eyes for the first time. It was worse than the hologram had shown. Rust covered the metal walls. Broken panels hung open like wounds. The hull was so old that no one even knew what year it had been built. Engineers from Earth's fleet stood beside her, shaking their heads. "Captain," said Chief Engineer Marcus Yu, "this thing is a coffin, not a warship. Half the systems don't even respond. We don't have the technology to fix this in time." Elena crossed her arms. "Then we find a way." "With what?" Marcus asked. "We don't have council-level tech. This ship could be 1,000 years old. We don't even know what species built it." Elena looked up at the massive, broken hull. Something about it felt strange to her. Not weak, not dead, just sleeping. "Get the team ready," she said. "We start repairs tonight." The engineers worked through the night, cutting away rusted metal, testing old wires, mapping systems no one understood. Most of the ship felt cold and lifeless, like walking through a graveyard. But then, deep in the lower decks, something changed. A young technician named Priya Nair was running a diagnostic scan when her screen suddenly flickered. Numbers and symbols raced across it, symbols she had never seen before. "Captain," she called out, "you need to see this." Elena hurried over, along with Marcus. Priya pointed at the screen. "There's a power signature," Priya said, her voice shaking slightly. "Something inside this ship is still active." Marcus frowned. "That's impossible. Every system we tested was dead." Not this one, Priya said. This is buried deep, behind 3 layers of shielding. It's like something was hidden on purpose. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. She thought of Threll's mocking smile, the way he had called this ship unproven, a symbol of humanity's weakness. What if the Council did not know everything about this ship? Show me where it is, Elena said. Priya led them through narrow corridors deeper into the ship than any of the survey teams had gone before. The walls here looked different, older, but somehow better preserved, like they had been protected from time itself. At the end of a long hallway, they found a sealed door, unlike anything else on the ship. It had no rust, no damage. Strange markings covered its surface, glowing faintly with a soft blue light. This isn't human tech, Marcus whispered, and it's not the Council's usual design either. Elena stepped closer. The markings seemed to pulse, almost like a heartbeat. Open it, she said. Marcus hesitated. Captain, we don't know what's behind this. It could be a weapon, it could be a trap. Or, Elena said quietly, it could be exactly what we need. She placed her hand on the door's cold surface. The moment her skin touched the metal, the glowing markings flared brighter. A deep hum spread through the walls of the ship, vibrating under their feet. Lights that had been dead for who knows how long suddenly flickered on, one by one, down the long corridor behind them. Priya gasped. The whole ship. It's waking up. The sealed door slowly slid open, revealing a small chamber bathed in soft blue light. In the center floated a strange glowing orb, humming with quiet power. And then, a voice spoke. Calm. Ancient. Not human. Unknown life form detected, the voice said. Command authority. Required. Elena's heart pounded. She looked at Marcus, then at Priya, both of them frozen in shock. Whatever this ship truly was, one thing was now clear. It was never scrap. And somewhere out in the dark of space, unseen and unknown, something was already moving toward them, drawn by the sudden burst of ancient power. The Council had given humanity a broken ship to humiliate them. They had no idea what they had truly woken up. The glowing orb pulsed slowly in the small chamber, and its calm voice repeated the same words. Command authority required. Elena stepped closer, her boots echoing on the metal floor. Marcus grabbed her arm. Captain, wait, he said. We don't know what that thing is. It could be dangerous. It already knows we're here, Elena said. If it wanted to hurt us, it could have done it already. She looked at the orb and spoke clearly. I am Captain Elena Voss of Earth's fleet. This ship was given to us by the Galactic Council. The orb flickered, its light shifting from blue to white. Scanning, the voice said. Species, human. Status, unknown to primary database. Cross-referencing secondary records. A pause followed. Then the voice spoke again, but this time it sounded almost surprised. Match found. Species human listed as extinct in previous cycle. Priya's eyes widened. Extinct? What does that mean? The AI did not answer directly. Instead, panels along the chamber walls lit up, revealing hidden screens covered in strange symbols and old star maps. This ship is designated Ashen Vow, formerly known as Caelus Requiem, the voice explained. Built by the Threxian Empire, a civilization that once ruled this sector of the galaxy. Destroyed in what your species would call a great war. Marcus stepped forward, stunned. Wait, the Threxians? I've read old records. They were supposed to be a myth. A story parents tell their kids about a war that ended before written history. Confirmed, the AI said. Threxian civilization ended approximately 12,000 years ago. This vessel was among the last of their war fleet, sealed and hidden to avoid capture by enemy forces. Elena felt her pulse quicken. The Council had given them what they thought was garbage. But this ship was not garbage. It was a relic from an empire more advanced than anything the Council itself had ever built. Why did the Council not know this? Elena asked. Unknown, the AI replied. Possible explanation. Deep shielding systems blocked most scans. This vessel was designed to hide its true nature from enemies. Priya looked at Elena. Captain, this changes everything. If this ship really is Threxian tech, it could be more powerful than anything the Council has. Elena nodded slowly, but she also felt a warning in her gut. Nothing this powerful came without danger. What is your function? She asked the AI. I am the ship's core intelligence, designated Echo. My function is to protect this vessel and follow the commands of a verified captain. And what do you need from me to fully activate? A bonding process, Echo said. Your neural signature must be linked to my core systems. This will allow full control of all ship functions, including weapons, engines, and defense systems. Marcus frowned. That sounds like more than just typing a password, Captain. That sounds like linking your mind to a machine that's 12,000 years old. I know, Elena said quietly. She looked at the humming orb, thinking of the Council's mocking laughter, thinking of Threll's cold smile as he called this ship unproven. Do it, she said. The bonding process began immediately. Thin strands of blue light rose from the orb and connected to a chair that slowly emerged from the floor. Elena sat down, and the light wrapped gently around her head like a crown. For a moment, everything went white. She saw flashes of images, not her own memories, but something older. Massive ships flying in formation, explosions lighting up dark space, a great empire falling into ruin. And then, silence. When her vision cleared, she was still in the chamber, but something felt different. She could feel the ship now, almost like an extension of her own body. She could sense the engines, the corridors, even small vibrations along the outer hull. Bonding complete, Echo said. Captain Elena Voss, you now have full command authority. Marcus stared in amazement as lights across the chamber shifted from a dim blue to a bright, steady white. The distant hum of engines grew stronger beneath their feet. The ship is waking up, Priya whispered. Suddenly an alarm sound echoed through the chamber, sharp and urgent. Alert, Echo said. Unknown vessel approaching, distance closing rapidly. Elena's heart skipped. Show me. A hologram appeared above the orb, displaying a dark, jagged shape moving through space toward Earth's orbital dock. It did not look like any ship humanity had ever encountered. Its hull was black, absorbing light instead of reflecting it, and its shape reminded Elena of a predator, sharp edges built for hunting. Identify, Elena ordered. Unable to identify, Echo said. Vessel matches no known Council database. Energy signature suggests advanced weaponry, likely hostile intent. Marcus's face went pale. Captain, we haven't even repaired half the ship yet. We have no weapons ready, no shields, nothing. Elena stood up from the chair, feeling stronger now, more connected to the ship than ever before. Echo, she said. Can this ship defend itself in its current state? Partial systems only. Full combat readiness at 23%. That'll have to be enough, Elena said. She turned to Marcus and Priya. Get every engineer back to their stations. I want power rerouted to shields immediately. Captain, wait, Priya said. If that ship is hostile and we're not ready, this could be a disaster. Elena looked back at the hologram of the approaching enemy vessel, its dark shape growing larger every second. The Council gave us a broken ship because they wanted us to fail quietly, she said. But whoever is out there, they're not testing us, they're hunting something. And I think they know exactly what woke up inside this hull. The alarm grew louder. The dark ship was closing in fast and its intentions were about to become clear. Whatever secrets the Ashen Vow still carried, humanity was about to find out the hard way, in the middle of open space, with an enemy no one could yet identify. The ghost had awakened, and it was not alone. The dark ship grew larger on the hologram, its jagged shape blotting out the stars behind it. Every engineer aboard the Ashen Vow rushed to their stations, hearts pounding, hands shaking as they tried to bring dead systems back to life in minutes instead of days. Shields at 18%, Marcus called out from his console. It's not enough, Captain. Elena stood at the center of the bridge, now fully restored with glowing panels and old Threxian screens translated into readable text by Echo. She felt the ship's systems like a second heartbeat inside her chest. Echo, what do we know about the enemy vessel? She asked. Analyzing, Echo replied. Vessel design matches no known council record. However, partial match found in ancient Threxian archives. Designation, Void Reapers, a mercenary faction feared even by the old empire. Priya looked up sharply. Mercenaries? Feared by an empire more advanced than the council? Captain, what are we dealing with? They don't fight for territory, Echo explained. They hunt for ancient technology, weapons, artifacts, anything with power from the old wars. Elena's stomach tightened. They're here for the ship. Confirmed likelihood, high. The enemy vessel fired a warning shot, a streak of red energy that flew past the Ashenvow's hull, close enough to shake the entire ship. That was a warning, Marcus said. Next one won't miss. A voice crackled over the comm system, cold and mechanical, clearly not human. Attention, small ship. You carry something that does not belong to you. Surrender the vessel, and your lives will be spared. Elena's jaw tightened. She thought of Threll's mocking smile back at the council chamber, of the aliens who had laughed when humanity accepted this worthless ship. She would not surrender, not now. This is Captain Elena Voss of Earth's fleet, she said firmly into the comm. This ship belongs to humanity. We will not surrender it. A pause followed. Then a cold laugh echoed through the speakers. Foolish. You do not even know what you hold. Prepare to be boarded. The enemy ship's weapons charged, glowing bright red along its jagged hull. Brace for impact, Marcus shouted. The first blast hit the Ashenvow hard, shaking the entire structure. Sparks flew from overhead panels. Alarms blared through every corridor. Shields down to 9%, Marcus yelled. We can't take another hit like that. Elena gripped the edge of her chair. Echo, options, now. Recommend unconventional tactic, Echo said. This vessel's weapon systems remain mostly offline. However, engine core can be rerouted to create a short-range energy pulse, disabling nearby systems, including enemy targeting sensors. Will it work? Success probability 61%. Warning, pulse will drain all remaining power. Ship will be defenseless for several minutes afterward. Elena thought fast. A few minutes without power against an enemy who already thought they were weak. It was a huge risk. But doing nothing was worse. Do it, she said. Deep in the ship, Marcus and his team rerouted the failing power core, sweat dripping down their faces as sparks flew around them. The enemy ship prepared for a second strike, confident that this human toy could not survive another hit. Firing pulse in 3, 2, 1, a wave of blue energy burst from the Ashenvow, spreading outward like a silent shockwave. For a brief moment, the enemy ship's lights flickered and died. Their weapons stopped charging. Their sensors went dark. Direct hit, Priya shouted. Their systems are down. But the victory was short-lived. Warning lights flashed across Elena's console. Captain, Echo said, power reserves critical. All systems will shut down in 60 seconds. Elena's mind raced. If they lost all power now, the enemy's systems would likely come back online before theirs did, leaving them completely defenseless. Then, something unexpected happened. The old Threxian orb, still connected to Elena through the neural bond, suddenly pulsed with new energy. Images flooded her mind again, but this time, they were not just memories. They were instructions. Echo, she said quickly. There's a secondary power source, I can feel it. Deep in the ship's core, something the scans never found. Unknown system detected, Echo confirmed, surprise clear in its voice. Accessing, warning, this power source was hidden even from my own records. Origin unknown. Activate it, Elena ordered. A deep hum spread through the ship, stronger than before. Lights that had never worked suddenly flared to life. Weapon systems long thought dead began charging with a strange, ancient energy. Captain, Marcus said, staring at his readings in shock. This isn't Threxian tech, this is something else, something older. Before anyone could ask more questions, the enemy ship systems flickered back online. Its weapons began charging again, faster this time, clearly angry after being disabled. They're preparing to fire everything they have, Priya warned. Elena took a deep breath. She could feel the ship's new power flowing through her, stronger, hungrier, almost alive. Echo, target their weapon array. Fire everything we've got. A massive beam of golden energy shot from the Ashen Vow's hull, completely different from the ship's original weapons. It struck the enemy vessel directly, tearing through its defenses like paper. The Void Reaper ship shook violently, sparks and debris flying from its hull. Its weapons overloaded, exploding in a chain reaction across its surface. Direct hit, Marcus shouted. They're retreating. The enemy ship turned and fled into the darkness of space, badly damaged, its cold mechanical voice crackling one final warning over the comm. This is not over. You have no idea what you carry. Silence fell over the bridge. For a moment, no one spoke. They had survived. They had won their first battle. But the words from the enemy voice and the strange power still humming through the ship left everyone with more questions than answers. Elena looked at the glowing golden panels along the ship's walls, panels that had never been there before this battle. Echo, she said slowly. What did we just use? There was a long pause before Echo answered, its voice quieter than before. Unknown, Captain. This power source predates even my own creation. It appears this ship carries something far older than the Threxian Empire itself. Elena felt a chill despite the ship's warm glow. The Council had handed them a worthless ship to embarrass them. Instead, they had uncovered something ancient, something powerful, and something that even their new enemy feared enough to call reinforcements. Whatever secret slept inside the Ashen Vow, it was only beginning to wake up. And somewhere far beyond human knowledge, something even bigger was starting to take notice. News of the battle spread fast across the galaxy. A small broken ship, one the Council had mocked as garbage, had driven away a feared Void Reaper vessel. Many species did not believe it at first. Others began to whisper that the humans were hiding something. Back on the Ashen Vow, Elena stood in the command chamber, staring at the strange golden panels that had appeared during the battle. They pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. Echo, she said. Have you learned anything more about this power source? Partial data recovered, Echo replied. This energy matches no known technology. Not Threxian, not Council, not even Void Reaper. It appears to be older than any recorded civilization in this sector. Marcus walked in, looking tired, but excited. Captain, we've been getting signals. Not attack signals, Council signals. They want to speak with you. Immediately. Elena was not surprised. Let me guess. They want to know how a piece of scrap metal fought off a Void Reaper ship. Something like that, Marcus said. A holographic call connected minutes later. Speaker Threll appeared, his usual cold smile now replaced with something closer to worry. Captain Voss, he said, we received reports of an attack near your vessel. Void Reapers do not attack without reason. What exactly happened? Elena kept her expression calm. Your gift, the Ashen Vow, defended itself, and us. Threll's eyes narrowed. That ship was scheduled for destruction. It should not have been capable of such power. Maybe you didn't know as much about it as you thought, Elena replied. The council chamber behind Threll buzzed with quiet conversation among other delegates. Elena could see doubt and fear spreading across their strange faces. Threll leaned closer to the screen. Listen carefully, human. If that ship carries something dangerous, something from the old wars, it is council property. You will hand it over immediately. Elena's eyes hardened. You gave this ship to us as an insult. You expected us to fail, to embarrass ourselves in front of the galaxy. Instead, we survived an attack that would have destroyed most council fleets. This ship is ours now. You do not understand the danger you are inviting, Threll warned. The Void Reapers do not give up easily, and if word spreads about what your ship truly is, others will come. Stronger enemies, ones even we fear. Then maybe, Elena said, it's time the galaxy learned humanity is not as weak as you thought. The call ended abruptly, Threll's face frozen in frustration before the hologram disappeared. Over the following days, the crew worked non-stop, repairing damaged systems while trying to understand the strange golden power source hidden deep within the ship. Echo discovered old data logs, corrupted and incomplete, hinting at an ancient war fought long before even the Threxian Empire existed. A war between forces so powerful that entire star systems were destroyed just to stop them. This ship wasn't just a Threxian warship, Priya said one evening, studying the data with wide eyes. It was built using leftover technology from that older war. The Threxians didn't create this power. They found it, and hid it. Elena stared at the golden light humming through the corridors. And now it's part of us. As if responding to her words, the ship's systems flared brighter for a moment, almost like a living creature reacting to being understood. Marcus looked nervous. "Captain, if the Council is scared of this ship and even the Void Reapers want it, what happens when bigger players notice?" Elena didn't have an answer yet, but she knew one thing for certain. There was no turning back now. 3 days later, sensors detected a massive fleet approaching Earth's system. Not one ship, but dozens, all Council-marked vessels, along with several unmarked black ships that made Elena's skin crawl. "Echo, identify the black ships," she ordered. "Unable to fully identify," Echo said. However, energy signatures partially match Void Reaper technology, combined with unknown modifications. "They're working together," Marcus said, stunned. "The Council and the Void Reapers?" Elena's jaw tightened. "They're not here to negotiate. They're here to take the ship by force." A voice crackled over the comm. This time it was Threll himself, no longer hiding his intentions. "Captain Voss, this is your final warning. Surrender the vessel or we will take it from the wreckage of your fleet." Around Earth, human ships gathered quickly, forming a defensive line, but everyone knew they were outnumbered and outgunned. Elena closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the strange golden power humming through her connection with the ship. She thought of the Council's mockery, their fear disguised as authority, and the ancient power now awake beneath her feet. "Echo," she said quietly, "how much of the ship's true power have we accessed so far?" "Estimated 12%, Captain." Elena opened her eyes, determination burning within them. "Then it's time we go further." She sat in the command chair, and the golden light wrapped around her once more, deeper this time, stronger. Images flooded her mind, not just memories now, but understanding, ancient knowledge passed down through the ship itself. The Ashen Vow began to change. Its damaged hull glowed with golden light, repairing itself in ways no human technology could explain. New weapon systems emerged from hidden compartments, ancient defenses long forgotten, awakening after thousands of years of silence. "Captain," Marcus said, staring in amazement, "the ship, it's transforming." The enemy fleet hesitated, sensors detecting the sudden surge of unknown power. Even the Black Void Reaper ships slowed their approach, clearly unsettled. Elena's voice echoed calmly through the comm, no longer just a captain speaking, but something more, connected to a power older than the galaxy's oldest empires. "You called this ship scrap," she said. "You called humanity weak. You were wrong on both counts." The Ashen Vow unleashed its full power, golden light tearing through space, disabling enemy weapons, shields, and engines without destroying a single ship, a display of control, not just destruction. Within minutes, the entire attacking fleet was left drifting, powerless, completely at the mercy of the very ship they had come to steal. Silence filled the Council's chamber as they watched the events unfold from afar. Threll stared at his screen, speechless, his plan completely shattered. Elena's voice broke the silence one last time. "Humanity is done being tested. From now on, we stand as equals, or we stand alone." In the days that followed, the Council had no choice but to formally recognize humanity as a true member, one with newfound respect and no small amount of fear. The Ashen Vow became legendary throughout the galaxy, no longer called a piece of scrap, but known by a new name, given by the very crew who had brought it back to life. The deadliest ship in the galaxy. Elena stood on the bridge, watching Earth slowly rotate below them, the golden light of the ship still humming gently around her. "Echo," she said softly. "Do you think this is over?" There was a brief pause before Echo answered, its voice calm but serious. "Unlikely, Captain. Ancient power always attracts ancient enemies." As if to confirm those words, a soft alert appeared on the main screen, a new distress signal, coming from a distant, unexplored region of space, one marked in old Threxian records as forbidden territory. Elena stared at the signal for a long moment, feeling both fear and excitement stirring within her. Whatever adventure waited next, one thing was now certain. Humanity, once called weak, was no longer easy to ignore.